Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started. So welcome to our virtual HSF Undergraduate Info session. We're very excited to have you guys here, and we hope that you leave informed and excited to engage with our programs. So we have a packed session for you today, so I want to briefly go over what you can expect, and then we'll move from there. So first, you're going to hear from our three directors of our programs, our undergraduate programs in HSF. They're going to give you a brief overview of each of their programs. Then we've got some of the best staff, students, and even some alumni to talk to you briefly about their experiences with the respective programs, how you can get involved, and more. We're going to wrap the session up with a fun little Kahoot, and if you win that, you'll even get mailed some HSF swag. So again, we're super thrilled you're here. And I want to go ahead and get things started by introducing the director of the honors program, Dr. Annette Schwabi.
Hello, everyone. I see that 66 people are on the Zoom session, and there may be more as we talk. So thanks so much for participating today. It's great to see you all. So I am the director of the honors program, Annette Schwabi, and we basically have two main ways to earn the distinction, honors distinction, when a student graduates, okay? So our two main programs are the University Honors Program. Most students are admitted when they're still in high school to that program, but if you haven't been admitted to the University Honors Program, you can be considered as an honors student after completing your fall semester of your freshman year. So if your grades are fairly strong in the 3.5 to 3.9 and up range, you can be admitted as an honors student to the University Honors Program that way. So you would apply during the fall semester of your freshman year, if you're still a freshman. And for those of you that are past being freshmen, you can share this with peers or people you know coming up after you. I think it's something that we want more and more students to apply for. The other way a student can earn the honors distinction is through the honors in the major thesis program. A student has to have completed 60 hours of coursework and be admitted officially into their major and have a 3.2 GPA. So those are the two main programs within honors and the way that students can earn honors distinctions. And you're going to learn more about that from Dr. Michael Franklin in more detail shortly. I just want to briefly mention the staff. Jeff Badger is the Associate Director of Honors. He oversees all the advisors and is a first-rate advisor himself. Other advisors and program specialists are Katie McCusick, Ashley Archer-Doling, who's also on the call, and Dr. Michael Franklin, as I mentioned, oversees the honors in the major thesis program. We also have 5 honors faculty who are great mentors for honors students, and that also includes Dr. Franklin. So I'll let Amy take it from here.
Thank you, Dr. Schwabi. And now, Dr. Filer, if you want to talk about the Office of National Fellowships.
I do. Hey everybody, how's everyone doing today? Thank you. I want to echo everyone's sentiment. Thank you so much for taking some time to be here to learn a little bit about our programs today. So I direct the Office of National Fellowships. We work with students that are applying for nationally competitive award programs, things that may seem kind of out there and kind of scary, but we're here to help lessen that and really to demonstrate to you that the work that you're able to do here at Florida State University makes you competitive with people from around the country for some of these programmatic honors. There's all kinds of programs that we work with. We work with programs that deal with research, with international experiences, with summer experiences for graduate school funding once you leave us here at the university. And we really mentor you through these application processes. We help you learn how to articulate fundamental truths about yourself in a way that is succinct, but also compelling to the people that are reading these applications so that you can go out into the world and do some incredible, amazing things. And most importantly, with someone else paying for it for you, which is pretty nice, right? And so you'll hear some more from a student that we've worked with, somebody that works in the office in just a little bit, but I'm here to assure you that one of the things that we work so hard to do is to make sure that you feel like the Office of National Fellowships is a place that you can come, even if you're vaguely curious about some of these awards. We don't want them to seem intimidating. We know that thinking about competing for something like the Rhodes Scholarship can be like, oh, wow, how could that possibly be me? I'm here to tell you that each of you has the potential to do amazing work on our campus that can make you highly competitive for these awards. And whether you actually receive the awards or not, because they are competitive, you will learn so much about yourself through this process and so many other things through the process that we find the process itself to be the thing that is of more value. We've got a great staff. Jesse Wieland's here today with you, and you're going to get to meet him in just a second, as well as Josh Stanek. We all work together and have been doing this collectively for almost 20 years now, all told. And so we're bringing a lot of wealth of experience here, and we get very excited about students who want to make more out of their time at the institution. We're also a very long-term planning office, and so the awards that we work with, we're thinking about things that you'd be doing next summer or a year from now or even 3 years from now. And so if you want to talk about big goals, we are happy to do that for you. And I guess the last thing I would say before I bounce this to the next speaker is that I feel like we're doing our job in the fellowships office, and I think this is probably true for all of us in HSF, is if the dream that you have for yourself today, if we're doing our job well, that dream won't be big enough for you by the time that you graduate. And that's what we believe in here, is making sure that you understand that you can do more, regardless of which office it's with. So happy that you're here. Hope you learn a lot, and I hope we see you again real soon in the office. And I will turn this back over to Amy.
Thank you, Dr. Filer. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Latika Young, who is the director of the CRE, which is the Center for Undergraduate Research and Academic Engagement.
Thank you, Amy. Let me just turn my camera on. The lighting in my office is bad, so hopefully you can all see me. And thank you for that promotion, Amy. I haven't actually finished my dissertation yet, but I'll take it. It's nice to hear the doctor someday, very soon, hopefully. But I am the director of the Center for Undergraduate Research and Academic Engagement, which we do abbreviate the CRE. So that usually, sometimes we even butcher the name when we try to say it, so it makes it a little easier. So we like to shorten it down a little bit. But as you can imagine, as the name suggests, we do a lot with undergraduate research, but we also have other experiential learning and academic engagement opportunities through our office, including some global programming and internship programming and entrepreneurship and innovation. So the most important thing to know about undergraduate research is that it happens in all colleges and majors here at FSU. So maybe if you're newer in your career here, maybe you're thinking that research is only in the STEM. Maybe it's the, the old white dude with the crazy hair mixing some chemicals in a lab. But we're here to dispel that myth. It does happen in all majors, all disciplines. So there's opportunities for you regardless of what you're interested in. So FSU is designated as a Research One university, which means that research is a big part of our core mission. And we believe, the university believes, that undergrads are an essential part of that overall research ecosystem. And in fact, last year FSU was actually recognized with the national award, the campus-wide award for undergraduate research accomplishments. So this is really a testament to how much support and dedication there is across the entire campus to supporting your engagement within research. But in terms of undergraduate research, there's a typical engagement arc that usually helps students think about how they might want to get engaged. That does not mean that you have to do this arc. You don't have to do the whole thing, and you can really enter at any point you want to, but just to give you a sense of how you might want to think about your engagement. So typically students will start as an undergraduate research assistant. So that's helping a faculty, a postdoc, or a grad student on their research project. We actually have a really cool program to make it easy to engage as a research assistant. It's called the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, or UROP. So this is specifically designed for first-year students, second-year students, and transfer students. It's a 3-part program. It lasts the entire year. You work as a research assistant. You attend a colloquium every other week, and there's a poster presentation at the Undergraduate Symposium in the spring. So that's really cool. For any of you who are currently freshmen, definitely reach out and talk to us so we can give you some tips on how to apply for next year, and those applications would be due May 1st. So the next step in the arc is you might consider doing your own independent research. So of course, this still means that you're mentored by a faculty or a graduate student. All undergraduate research is mentored, but that might be a DIS, a directed independent study, or perhaps you apply for one of our summer research awards. They're called IDEA grants. So this year we anticipate giving awards up to $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for group projects. And then really the final culminating experience you can have as an undergraduate researcher is to complete an honors in the major thesis, which isn't run by our office, but our colleague, Dr. Michael Franklin, will speak about that shortly. So another important part of undergraduate research is the dissemination or the sharing of the research. So a lot of our research is conducted using public funds, so we're really obligated, in fact, to share that with the wider community and give back. So we have plenty of opportunities for you to disseminate your research, some that are coming up this semester that you should know about. The Fall Research Day on November 6th. For those of you who maybe are already doing research, please feel free to apply to present to that. Usually that's oral presentations, and it's typically from honors in the major and other Garnet and Gold Scholar Society culminators. If you haven't gotten involved in research yet, we really encourage you, or if you're thinking about maybe doing an independent project, to come out to the President's Showcase of Undergraduate Research Excellence. It is happening a little later this year. Usually it's at the end of September or early October. This year it will be on Thursday, November 19th in the evening from 5 to 8. So all of our IDEA grant winners will be presenting, along with our tech fellows and our FSU iGEM team, which is a biotech group doing a really cool group project. They've actually invented some new biotechnology, which is awesome, and they're competing in a national competition. So, and also, as I mentioned earlier, we run the all-campus undergraduate research symposium in the spring. So we anticipate having over 500 poster presenters this year. We'll probably have to do it virtual again, but it's a great chance to see what others are doing and figure out how you might get engaged. I want to give a shout out to SCIRC, which is the Student Council for Undergraduate Research. They publish the OWL, which is FSU's Undergraduate Research Journal. So if you want to be published, that's a really great opportunity, and please keep that in mind. So I'll shift gears really quickly and go into some of our other programming. Our Global Scholars Program helps students find internships with community partners, so both domestically and abroad. Again, it's a 3-part program. So there's a spring theory class, you have your internship component over the summer, and a fall reflection course. So one of our students who's speaking will talk more about that later. And we also run FSU's Gap Year Fellow Program. So students can receive up to $5,000 to take a gap year between high school and coming to FSU. So for those of you who have younger siblings or friends who are thinking about applying to FSU, please make sure to let them know about that. We also, I mentioned, we have programming in innovation and entrepreneurship, including Tech Fellows, which is designed to help diversify the tech pipeline, and also other program around design thinking. If any of that is interesting, please talk to Dave Montez in our office and we can get you connected. And then I'd like to end with just saying, please stay connected with us. We miss seeing you all in the building. We love when students just wander in and we get to talk to you. Obviously, we can't do that right now, and that's sad, but we are still trying to find ways to connect with you, and one of those is with our Get to Know Team CRE. So we're having a Zoom hangout on Thursday, October 22nd at 1 p.m. David Advent in our office will talk about that a little bit more later. Please do sign up for our newsletter. We have a great monthly newsletter, and we have a really active social media account. So we'd love to get to know you until we can actually hang out in person again. Next up, I will hand it over to Ashley from Honors, who will be speaking to you. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, y'all. Thank you, Latika. My name is Ashley Archer-Doling, and I am one of the assistant directors with the University Honors Program. So I just want to echo something that Dr. Schwabi mentioned in her intro, which is lateral admission into the University Honors Program. So remember that the Honors Program at FSU has 2 distinct programs. We have University Honors and Honors in the Major, which Dr. Franklin will talk about right after I'm done in a minute. So I see that a lot of you in this call may already be University Honors students, which is awesome. But if you're not, listen up. There is a chance that you can join us over in the Honors Program during your first year, right? So if this is your first fall semester at FSU, you can apply to the University Honors Program this semester only. It does not apply in the spring. It does not apply next fall. It's your first fall at FSU only. So you can find a little bit more information about lateral admission to University Honors on our website, as well as what would make you competitive for lateral admission into the program. University Honors is our program where you will take our Colloquium course, where you will take a number of other academic courses for honors credit. And HITM, which Dr. Franklin will talk about, is more of the thesis project. You can absolutely do both, and I encourage you to. So if you have any questions about lateral admission, feel free to contact me or any of the other staff members that are listed on the contact sheet that I'm dropping in the chat. I'll drop it like 5 more times before we're done today. But I just want to encourage you all to make the most of your time here at FSU and join us in University Honors. And then obviously continue your engagement with the other wonderful offices that are housed in HSF. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Michael Franklin for HITM. Thanks, y'all.
Hey everybody, Michael Franklin here, and as you've heard, I'm faculty in the honors program, and I do oversee the honors in the major program. So building upon the good information you've already gotten, I just want to give you a more in-depth picture about honors in the major. And before we wrap up today, in the chat box, I will include a link to the honors in the major page so that if you're really interested, you have ample opportunity to dive into the information there. I'll also say before I forget, and while it's at top of mind, I have office hours for honors in the major twice a week. That information is on the page I'll be sending you the link to via chat. It really is wide open. You do not have to be in the program currently. If you're just interested, you want to know more, you have ideas, but you're not sure how to pursue them, all of those reasons and more are why I have those office hours. So after this, feel free to drop by. My next office hours are tomorrow morning, so feel free to drop by should you wish to. But briefly put, honors in the major, as you've heard, is one of 2 ways in which you can get honors recognition at FSU. To be clear, honors in the major is open to everybody if you meet the criteria posted on our website. So it's something that you do not have to be in university honors, in other words, to do it. Although a lot of students who are in university honors want that additional experience that is a culmination of a lot of the research activity and learning they've done at FSU. So they will pursue honors in the major in addition to their university honors. And have both of those at graduation. So briefly put, honors in the major, it's an honors thesis experience. It's where you will be taking an individual project that you've come up with through collaboration with faculty and work on it over the course of 2 semesters. 2 semesters is standard. You have up to 3 semesters if you need it. You're mentored by the faculty director who you locate. A lot of times students will utilize previous research experiences that they've had through CRE, such as, let's say, UROP, and that may be one pathway, but there are multiple pathways through which they can identify somebody to work with that allows them a chance to pursue a project that they're super curious about. Briefly, I like to tell people, think of this honors thesis program and doing this original project as a bridge to your future, a bridge to the next world. And what I mean by that briefly is that it's an opportunity for you to think about, what is my next step after FSU? Am I going to grad school? Am I applying to professional school? Am I interested in a fellowship like Dr. Filar mentioned? Any of these kinds of opportunities can really help you. You can be very helped out, I should say, by doing an honors thesis, in that it'll give you a competitive edge and you'll be able to distinguish yourself in these competitive arenas through experience unique to you, that you uniquely have moved forward through your own research activity and through your growth through this experience. So like I said, I'm more than happy to talk with any of you all if you wish. I'll copy the link to our webpage below, but yeah, good luck with everything. And coming up next is an honors in the major student who's currently in the program, Elias Loralde, and he is going to be able to speak with you about his experience in the program and yeah, take it from there.
Hi, everyone. So as Dr. Franklin said, my name's Elias, and I'm currently knee-deep in my defense semester for my honors in the major thesis. I would like to say that it is an amazing opportunity that if you're really interested, you should look more information to and get involved with. I always think of it as a capstone to your undergraduate career, as it allows you to pick a research topic and be the one who really gets to research it and to make a product. Of course, you're connected with your main advisor, but they always stress that this is your project and this is a great contribution to whatever field you're in. So for my project, I'm looking into how Afro-Cuban religions were commodified in American and Cuban entertainment. So I'm with the Department of History and with Dr. Robertson Pereira. So my story is I've done it for 3 semesters, or yeah, 3 semesters, but the first semester was technically going through an idea grant. I've applied and I've got an idea grant from last year. So if you're thinking of doing an honors thesis, I would look into all the grants that both the honors and this year we have for researchers and seek to apply to them to get a good start on your research agenda. Overall, the research process is intimidating at first, but you're connected with a great community and network with the committee you build and with the HSF, and you can easily find ways to get all the info you need and all the citations you need and create a great paper. And with the defense committee, or the defense semester, I should say, you have an amazing opportunity to show your work to 3 professors of your choosing and get their comments and hopefully get it passed through. And then you can have your work published through the DigiNoll of FSU. So you have your work cemented in FSU legacy and you have something to put on your resume as a published, and also to have it as an opportunity to go into other journals. And overall, again, like Dr. Franklin mentioned, it's a great opportunity to see how graduate school might be. One of my professors in the history department mentioned that if you want to go to graduate school, you should do an honors in the thesis, though, of course, it's not mandatory if you want to go to graduate school. But it will be the closest thing I think you'll have to work with in order to get a real feel of what maybe a master's thesis or even a PhD dissertation might feel like, even though those 2 things are much longer than your honors thesis has to be. So now I'll pass it to Lily Brody, who'll talk about lateral admissions and getting involved in the HSA. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Brody and I'm currently a senior double majoring in psychology and theater at FSU. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about being a lateral admit to the honors program as well as how to get involved with HSA. When I made the decision to attend FSU, I really didn't know what to expect. I didn't really want to be here and I didn't think I would be happy here. And when I first stepped foot onto campus as a freshman, I felt super lost. And after spending much of my freshman fall pretty unhappy, I knew that I needed to make a change. I wanted to find somewhere that would encourage me to grow into the person that I wanted to be when I graduated in 4 years. At this time, I made the decision to apply to FSU's honors program as a lateral admit. Like Ashley said, applying laterally means that you apply at the end of your fall semester of freshman year to join the program beginning in spring. When choosing to apply to honors, I was at first lured by the promise of early registration and small class size. And while these benefits are nice, and I still think they're nice, being in honors has provided me so much more than that when I first read that on the website. Prior to attending FSU, I wouldn't have considered myself a leader in any capacity. I really didn't like public speaking, and I felt much more comfortable taking a backseat role. I can truly say that thanks to my experiences in honors over these last years, I really have discovered and developed a newfound confidence in my ability to lead. While in honors, I've been able to serve as an honors colloquium leader and as a member of the HSA executive board for 2 years. Honors Colloquium is a course that all first-year honors students take that teaches goal setting with regards to personal, intellectual, and professional growth. As an honors colloquium leader, I've had the opportunity to lead this course through lesson plans I created to freshmen and sophomores joining the program. This experience has probably been one of, if not my favorite experience during my time at FSU. I quickly realized that not every freshman had it figured out like I thought when I was a freshman. Everyone wants to find their place at this university, and it's been super amazing being able to help them do so in this role. In this position, I also have the opportunity to practice my public speaking skills nearly every week. And without this position, I don't think I would have grown to be as confident in my leadership skills as I am today 4 years later. Further, serving on the Honors Student Association Executive Board has provided me the opportunity to help promote various events and publications for the honors program. This organization served as a great platform and catalyst for me to make friends and get involved hands-on with honors and the honors community, while getting to attend many fun socials, professional development events, and community service events with fellow students. Another one of my favorite parts of being an honors student is the staff found in HSF. There's never been a time where I felt like I couldn't reach out to Ashley or Dr. Schwabi or Jeff to ask a question or seek support. There was also never a time where Amy or Ashley didn't greet me with a huge smile and wave when I walked through the building. I had not one, but many mentors in this building, which I think is something that's truly incredible about this program. In this building, I've found people who have truly believed in me and inspired and pushed me to be a better version of myself, both the teachers, faculty, staff, and even my honors peers. While I'm sad that my 4 years is coming to a close soon, I'm happy I can say that I found my place at FSU, and making the decision to apply laterally to honors was one of the best choices I made in college. And when I graduate this spring, I feel as though I'll be leaving as a more confident, strong, and able version of myself. I hope any freshmen listening will make the decision to apply, and if you have any questions about applying to honors laterally or about honors in general, I'm very happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, honors students. So I hope that gives you just a glimpse into our lateral admit process and also into the honors in the major program. So definitely reach out if you have any other questions about that. And I'm happy to introduce Jessie Wieland, who is an assistant director with the Office of National Fellowships.
Hello, friends. So like Ashley said, I work with the Office of National Fellowships. I work with Dr. Filer and Josh Stanek. Some of my responsibilities, I lead recruitment for the Benjamin A. Gilman Scholarship, which supports undergraduate students who are receiving Pell Grants, pursue international study and internships. I also lead the Barry Goldwater Scholarship, which supports sophomores and juniors that are pursuing research, and a bunch of other awards in addition to that. But it's my pleasure to introduce Charles Ford, who is I don't think he knows this. He was one of the very first students that I advised totally on my own when I was a graduate student with the office before going full-time. And he happens to be one of my favorite students I've ever worked with. So Charles is going to talk a little bit about his experiences with the office and some of the opportunities that he applied for. So take it away, Charles.
Hey, Jesse. It's good to see you, man. And I did not know that. So that's really cool to know. But as Jesse mentioned, I had the privilege and honor to work with the Office of National Fellowship, specifically with Jesse, but also with Josh and Dr. Filer and Latika. I got involved with the Office of National Fellowship when I applied for the Global Scholars Program my fall of 2016. I applied for the program. I was a first-generation college student, and I really didn't think I was going to have the opportunity to, be even part of a program like that, or even travel internationally. But I got accepted into the program, and then I started to work with Jesse. Individually, we had our student, meetings where, he helped with my writing, helped me prepare the entire application for the Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholarship. And I actually was fortunate enough to receive that scholarship. I won the full amount. It was a $5,000 scholarship, and it covered the entire, all of my expenses to participate in the Global Scholars Program. So, I then started the program, as Latika mentioned. It's a 3-part program, so I started in spring of 2017, and then that was a really cool class because I had the chance to learn more about what international service learning volunteering is, and learning that you're going to learn more from the people that you interact with and the places that you visit, more so than you're going to impact on them. And I think that's super, super important, because a lot of times students get this idea of that, oh, I'm going to go on this international trip and I'm going to make this huge difference. But that doesn't always happen, how you think. So that spring course really taught me the opportunity to, or gave me the chance to learn that I'm going to be impacted more, and that I should really go in with an open mind, and just don't set my expectations too high. Obviously safety and all of that is an important factor, but I really, really grew from that experience. And when I returned in the fall, I had the chance to do the reflection part of that program, where it was a full semester reflecting on you know, the entire experience and what it means, and then we finished the program with a capstone project. But my entire experience with ONF, you know, working on the Gilman Scholarship, you know, I would not have had that opportunity had it been for Jesse and him motivating me and just, you know, pushing me to, you know, stick to these deadlines that we set for these, you know, these writing drafts. And he really brought out a different side of my writing, you know, scholarly writing than I thought I had. And actually during the, you know, the Global Scholars experience, I decided that I was interested in pursuing the Fulbright Scholarship. So I was like, well, you know, I was awarded the Gilman, let me give it a shot. And Jesse and I painstakingly worked on the Fulbright Scholarship. I had the chance to you know, reach out to a professor at the University of Sheffield in Sheffield, England. You know, I was going to do a master's of public health at Sheffield with that Fulbright. I got all the way up to the semifinalist level, but unfortunately I wasn't selected. But that experience still gave me so much more than I thought I would. My long-term goals are to pursue medical school and become a physician. So I'm definitely going to be hitting up Jesse in the future for some help with my personal statement and things like that. But I've just grown so much from this experience, and working with the office is phenomenal. Even if you don't think that you will have the opportunity to do these things, just go ahead and get that out of your mind right now, because these people make it possible. So, but I will go ahead and introduce Jessica Dixon, who is going to speak about her experience with the Office of National Fellowship.
Hello, Charles and everyone. My name is Jessica Dixon. I am double majoring in neuroscience and statistics, and I am in my 3rd year at Florida State. I began working with the Office of National Fellowships at the beginning of my freshman year with Craig, who helped me have an overview of what opportunities I could apply for and achieve throughout my 4 years at Florida State. And this helped me have an idea of what opportunities I wanted on my resume when I went to graduate school. As I became more involved in research at Florida State, I realized that I wanted to get a PhD in neuroscience. And so I began to work with the Office of National Fellowships again in my sophomore year, particularly with Jesse. Jesse helps me apply for the Barry Goldwater Scholarship, which is the most prestigious scholarship in the country for undergraduates in STEM, and it's available to sophomores and juniors. This is not a scholarship that I thought I would receive. I thought I would just practice my sophomore year and maybe be able to apply again my junior year. But because of the support that I received from Jesse, I actually received the Barry Goldwater Scholarship my sophomore year of school. And this is really helpful because it will allow me to have the resume I need to get into the types of graduate programs that I want to. So my advice is to work with the Office of National Fellowships, because you might not think that you will be able to achieve a prestigious award, but they really do teach you how to write in order to do the best that you can in those applications. They teach you how to organize your time, how to set the appropriate deadlines. And I'm continuing to work with the Office of National Fellowships moving forward on a Truman application, and then an application for summer research opportunities. So even if you don't think that you're capable of achieving these types of opportunities, you can, because they allow you the appropriate supports. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica, and thanks, Charles, for sharing a little bit about your experience. I think you're both perfect examples of what can happen when you gamble on yourself in your experiences and really put your best foot forward. So I have the pleasure now of introducing, I think, one of probably the perfect amalgamation of someone who worked with all of our offices as an undergraduate. So David Advent is an assistant director with the Center for Undergraduate Research, and so he's going to talk to you a little bit more about his role.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for that introduction, Jesse. Yes, I was involved with HSF all throughout my undergraduate career. I just graduated in May 2019, and I started working with CRE directly after I graduated, and I loved it so much that I stayed as an assistant director now. So I did honors, I did CRE, I also worked with ONF on a Fulbright application. So this place feels like home to me, and I'm really appreciative of that. So for what I do with CRE is, as the assistant director, I do a lot of the outreach, I do a lot of the advising. So if you have any questions about how to get involved in undergraduate research, please feel free to contact me. I'll put my email in the chat. I also put a link to a Get to Know CRE Zoom session that we'll have directly after this Zoom session ends. So if you have any questions or want to learn more about CRE, just come to that Zoom session. We'll answer any questions that you have. So I have the pleasure to introduce two students who have worked with CRE throughout their time at FSU. I'll introduce first Tristan, who is also the editor-in-chief of the OWL as well. So Tristan, take it away.
Thanks, David. Hi, everybody. I'm Tristan. I am a third-year psychology major, minoring in computer science and statistics, and I plan to pursue a research-based PhD in social psychology after I graduate. And through the awesome numerous opportunities available on campus through the CRE to get involved with research, I've had the opportunity to do, I think, over like 5 different research projects, some that I led, some that I worked as an assistant researcher on. And through those different opportunities, I've had the chance to not only present my work at professional conferences and undergraduate conferences, but also get my work published in research journals as a first author. So starting in my freshman year, I was involved as a participant in the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, or UROP, and some people have already talked about how UROP works, but I'll share more about my personal experience with it. So through UROP, I was connected to my first position as a research assistant in a research lab. I worked in a clinical psychology lab on campus, advised by Dr. Jessica Ribeiro, and we used virtual reality to study suicide, which was just something that blew my mind. And every time I went into the lab, I got to run participants through the study, working hands-on, getting really invaluable skills, working with participants, doing psychology research, handling different research technology. And after UROP ended, I loved my research in that lab so much that I continued it into a directed individual study, or a DIS, which is basically like UROP, but it can count for as a grade and can count for class credit, up to 3 credit hours, unlike UROP, which is just 1 credit hour. And so without UROP, I never would have made those connections, and I never would have continued my work over multiple years. And through that DIS, I actually not only got to present my work at an undergraduate conference, but I also got to present my work at a professional research conference in the field. And through that conference, the CRE actually provided me a travel grant to cover the cost of getting to that conference. So not only did UROP provide me the first connection to that lab, but they also helped me cover the cost to share my work even beyond UROP. So that was definitely helpful and invaluable in supporting my research endeavors. So after my amazing experience in UROP, I decided to apply myself for a position as a UROP leader. And this year, I'm working as a UROP leader to teach a 1 credit hour research colloquium to current UROP students. So I work as a paid FSU faculty member, and my class consists of 14 first and second year girls. And so I just love getting the opportunity to empower them with research knowledge and skills, and academic, different skills, and just giving them the confidence they need to succeed as female STEM researchers. Another way that the CRE has supported my success as an undergraduate researcher is through the IDEA grant program. I was awarded a $4,000 IDEA grant, which I used this summer to fund my own original research project in the field of social psychology. And this is, again, an invaluable program for allowing students to conduct their own research from start to finish. So in UROP and my DIS, I was mainly assisting projects that were already ongoing, but through the IDEA grant program, I actually got to come up with my own idea and pursue it to the full with the assistance of that financial grant. And as part of being an idea grant winner, I get to present my findings at the President Showcase at the end of the semester. And also my idea grant was recently accepted as a poster for a professional conference, so I'm excited about that. And in the future, I plan on submitting it as a short paper. So in addition to Europe and the idea grant program, the third main way I have been involved with the CRE is through the Student Council for Undergraduate Research and Creativity, also known as SCURC. And SCURC is sponsored and advised by the CRE. It's basically the student-run version of the CRE, if that makes any sense. SCURC itself sponsors a variety of great resources for undergraduate researchers, like Europe, like undergraduate research ambassadors or URAs. And they work one-on-one with students to connect them to these different resources through a more peer-on-peer mentorship model. And they also sponsor travel grants. So I mentioned I got a travel grant for my DIS work to share that at a conference. SCURC is the one that disperses those. But my favorite SCURC project by far has to be the OWL, FSU's undergraduate research journal. As an assistant director for SCURC, I serve as the editor-in-chief of the OWL, like David mentioned. And I lead a team of 12 assistant editors to peer review undergraduate research submissions for potential publication in our annual journal in the spring. I think the OWL is a phenomenal program on which to showcase your work as an undergraduate. And it's just a phenomenal research, phenomenal peer review experience. If you're ever interested in getting your work published in a professional venue in the future, the OWL is a great first step in getting experience, going through the peer review process, and learning about the professional standards that qualify something to be publishable in your field. So I'm just so grateful to attend a university that goes above and beyond to help their students succeed in research as undergraduates. And up next, you will hear from Arya Holden, an alumni, and actually my former Europe leader instructor. And she will also share some of her experiences working with the CRE at FSU. So I'll let Arya take it from here.
Hello, everybody. Hi. I put a 5-minute timer because I love to talk. Thank you so much, Tristan. I loved hearing your experience after we had a class in the spring. So my name is Arya Holden, pronouns she, her, hers, and I am a recent alumni, as Tristan mentioned. I graduated in May 2020 with a Bachelor of Science in Anthropology. Don't know why I butchered that. I shouldn't do that. But essentially, my experience with HSF is expansive. I've done a little bit of everything when it came to honors, when it came to CRE, when it comes to ONF. So I'll try my best to try to make this as logical as possible. So with my experience with Florida State, so I am originally from South Florida. My family is a immigrant family, originally from Jamaica. So when it came to deciding universities, I wasn't sure where to go, but thankfully with Florida State, the opportunity arose through the CARE program. So if anyone is a first-generation student or knows what the CARE program is, the Center for Academic Retention and Enhancement. So with that, it really helped guide the trajectory of my next 4 years at Florida State, because through the CARE program, I actually was able to see a presentation that Jesse Warren did. And that actually helped me find out what ONF was. And I've actually been working with Jesse the entire 4 years that I was at Florida State. So that was very helpful. So with that, I'll start with ONF. I utilized ONF to look into different grants and opportunities, specifically when it came to going abroad, because I know I wanted to go abroad. I just didn't know how to, and I definitely didn't have the financial resources to do so. So I was able to work with Jesse throughout the first 2 years, but it really picked up in the third year where I applied for the Gilman Scholarship, and I was awarded the Gilman Scholarship at about $4,000. And I utilized that in tandem with my Global Scholars experience. I was a Global Scholar in 2019, and I went to Vietnam, and I was actually the first in Global Scholars history to do so. So me and the other Global Scholar that went, we were able to do research while we were there, and we also were awarded an idea grant to do so. So it was phenomenal. There was definitely a lot of experiences that I'm grateful for because of my experience to go to Vietnam. And because of that experience, along with Global Scholars having its own built-in financing opportunity, I don't know if that's still a possibility, but when I went in 2019, I think they had it as well for this current class of 2020, there's an opportunity to get funding up to $3,500 for care students, $2,500 for non-care students. So that financial opportunity is built in, as well as the program that they use also has a built-in financial opportunity. So when I was there, it really helped me solidify my research endeavors, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, and also really helped solidify my passion and ideas of joining the U.S. Peace Corps. So I was actually invited to serve with Peace Corps Mongolia, but given everything going on with COVID, international travel is a no-no. So I'm actually currently sitting here talking to you all in the beautiful state of New Hampshire as an AmeriCorps Vista, which is a volunteer in service to America, and I'm currently a COVID-19 recovery volunteer. So a lot of my current position is research. So the research that I had from the CRE really helped solidify, one, me accepting this position, me getting accepted into this position, and two, how I actually go about my different daily activities. So with the CRE, I was a part of the UROP program in my second year, the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Program, as Latika mentioned. I was also a UROP leader and a UROP leader trainer, as Tristan has mentioned. She was one of my students. And I really enjoyed research in all of its forms. I didn't know if I would like it when I first started, but when I did, it was a phenomenal experience. And I was able to have research published, including my honors in the major thesis. I was able to have that published in Digino, as well as having a publication in a undergraduate research journal for multidisciplinary studies outside of Florida State. So I was able to have a few publications under my belt because of my research experiences. I do want to echo that anyone can do research, and research can be anything. So if you really feel like there's something that you would like to know more about in academic capacity, don't be afraid to look into it. I guarantee you that there is an interest there and there's a passion there. You just have to follow it. And additionally, my third interjection with my honors in the major thesis, so I was able to defend that over last June. I graduated in May, but there was an extension due to COVID. And it was a phenomenal experience because I was able to make and cultivate my own research project and then make a lovely 87-page honors thesis that is currently sitting on Digino, that I can say that I thankfully know more about the community I studied, which is Jamaican and Haitian students and their experiences here at Florida State. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of things I did. If you want to reach out to me, I'll put my email down in the chat feature and we can talk, because I love to hear your experiences and see how I can help you in any way. And moving forward, I'd love to do a Fulbright and go to graduate school. And so I'm still definitely going to work with ONF and HSF as a whole. So I won't be too far away. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Sorry, David, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you so much to Arya and Tristan for representing the CRE so well. We're really happy to hear your story and your experiences, and we hope to remain connected with you after you both graduate. So thank you.
Thank you, David. So as I said in the beginning, that was a lot of information for you all, but I did promise that we would have a fun way to wrap it up. And really quick, I just want to point out, because I know some people had to come on and off during this. So if you missed any of this, it is being recorded, and I will be sending you all a follow-up email tomorrow with the recordings so that you can go back and hear anything again that you needed to hear. But now I'm about to share my screen to do a Kahoot. And all we ask is that if you participate in the Kahoot, if you don't mind making your name your FSU ID, so whatever your email address is, if you don't mind making that your name, so that if you win, I know who to email to get your mailing address, that would be preferred. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Oh, here we go. And so if everybody wants to go ahead, if you want to play, to go ahead and put the game pin in. And the co-host, if for some reason you can't see this, let me know. Oh, perfect. All right, everybody's coming in. Awesome. Once I stop seeing names populate, then we'll give it a few more seconds.
The Kahoot music is a bop.
All right, so this looks like it's going to be about it. So I am going to hit start, and it's just a few questions, and it's kind of going to see if you all were paying attention. So here we go.
Wait, Amy. Oh, never mind.
Okay, so with this, we did not really specify this at the beginning. And, you know, I'm looking back and I apologize that we didn't make that more clear, but we are unfortunately not open for in-person, but we are taking all of any advising appointments or any appointments virtually with you all.
And I'll pop in about the previous question. So no, you do not have to be an honors student to work with ONF or CRE, and you don't have to be a university honors student to do the honors in the major program. So if you are not in honors, that is fine. I would say come see us in HSF. Obviously this question tells you can't right now, but connect with any of us on that contact sheet that I've been dropping in, and we can see what options there are for you in HSF, even if the honors program is not your path.
Yes, the CRE, because it is such a long name otherwise.
Hey, Amy, can I jump in on this one? I realize I didn't mention FCAM, so that might have been hard to answer, but the Florida Georgia Low Stokes Alliance for Minority Participation, and specifically it's an NSF funded grant to help underrepresented undergrads complete STEM degrees and then get the support to go on to PhD programs in grad school. So if that's interesting to any of you, or let your friends know, we do have our group for this year, but there's always opportunities to get engaged or come to workshops. Thanks.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Latika. Ooh, close at the top. Yes. So yes, if you are interested in an honors in the major thesis, remember Dr. Franklin. He will be your contact, and his contact information will be on that contact sheet, and he does open office hours all the time to talk about that opportunity. Nope. Somebody put nope. All right, so let's see who the winner is. All right. You guys got it. Let me stop the share.
Congrats, congrats.
Yes, I will be sending something in the mail to the winner, DE20BA, so congratulations. And I just want to thank all of you again for showing up today, spending an hour with us, learning more about what we offer in our undergraduate programs. I do hope that you all took something away today, and feel free, Ashley just put in the chat again, the Hsf Contact Info. It has all of our social media platforms for all of our groups. It has every individual who works in the office, their name, and what you can contact them for. So we really just hope you reach out. We know it's different in this virtual norm, but we are here to support you, and we look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you all. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank y'all.